We welcome in Amy Kremer, co-founder of the Women Vote Trump Pact. And also with us, as we should point out, Amy Skyping in from Atlanta, but from Washington, D.C., it's Republican strategist, Georgetown professor, and former advisor to Bush 43, Brad Blakeman. Ladies first, Amy, Mark Levin has come around. Will his reassessment trigger other never Trumpers to go, wait a minute, if it's Hillary or Trump, I'm going with the Donald?
Well, JD, thanks for having me, first of all. But, you know, I think Mark Levin is a smart guy, and he realizes the two options that he has in front of him. I mean, it's a binary decision, and he understands just how bad Hillary Clinton will be. And so he is going to vote for Donald Trump, and I hope that he is leading the way for some others. And I think that they probably will come around. And quite honestly, I think there may be some people that will vote for Trump and they'll never tell you. They'll just go into that booth and vote for him and then walk out and never say a word about it because they know how bad Hillary Clinton is.
Brad Blakeman, we noted that you advised Bush 43. The Bush family is noticeably absent from backing the Republican nominee. Look, all of us have hurt feelings. A lot of us actually thought we might have the chance to be president, but sometimes it doesn't work out. Are the steadfast never-Trumpers, forgive me, country club Republicans going to get a clue?
Well, look, whoever doesn't support Trump, who claims to be a party person, is not a party person because, look, to be a member of a party, you have to agree with at least 51% of what the party's selling. Otherwise, why enter the tent? And look, Trump wasn't my first or second choice, but he is my choice because he's my party's choice. And I have to get behind him because the alternative is unthinkable. And George P. Bush, the son of Jeb Bush, has endorsed Donald Trump with a full-throated endorsement. So the fact is that there are some in the Bush family who are supporting Donald Trump and some who choose not to. It's regrettable, but I'm a party person. I support the nominee of my party.
And we should note that to complete the record, some of us who are a bit more conservative than John McCain or Mitt Romney flocked under their banner, but obviously we all hope for a different outcome in November. To that end, Donald Trump earlier today in Philadelphia, contrasting the way he and Hillary Clinton would handle the situation in the Middle East.
Sometimes it seemed like there wasn't a country in the Middle East that Hillary Clinton didn't want to invade, intervene in, or topple. She's trigger happy and very unstable. Whether we like it or not, that's what's going on.
Now, Brad, I need a little professorial answer from you over there since you spent some time at Georgetown. There's Trump being a bit more tempered in terms of the modulation of his speech, but calling Hillary unstable. Is that an effective presentation technique? Should he employ it tonight in the Commander-in-Chief Forum?
No, I think using the term unstable is not helpful because he's winning on the facts. Don't go there. Let the voters determine Hillary on her record. One thing is for sure, she's an abysmal disaster as the Secretary of State. I mean, everything she touched, from the Middle East to the reset in Russia, was absolutely beyond the pale with regard to thinking it through on policy and actual relations between our countries. So I would, if I had to advise Donald Trump, I'd say be a little bit less acerbic on your language and stick to policy. People will get it on policy and they'll come up with their own labels for Hillary.
Amy, I just have to ask you, though, if Kellyanne Fitzpatrick is there, they're checking the language. I don't believe unstable is so stark. It must register in terms of the dial test to use it and to try and foster that that perception of Hillary. Or do you agree with Brad that he should just steer clear of that kind of talk?
I agree with Brad. I think that Donald Trump needs to just stick to the facts and to her history and just go with that and let the American people decide because they will come his way. He was very presidential today, and the polling shows that came out today that our military trusts Donald Trump more than they trust Hillary Clinton. So I think he should just stay away from it and stick to the facts.
And let me offer a brief correction. Those of us who knew Kellyanne when she was Fitzpatrick before getting married and becoming Kellyanne Conway a couple of decades ago. Old habits die hard. Anyway, there was one very effective line that Mr. Trump uses again and again when he talks about Mrs. Clinton's predisposition toward favoring illegals over our vets. Let's listen to the way he put it earlier today in Philadelphia.
Our veterans, in many cases, are being treated worse than illegal immigrants, people that come into our country illegally. Our veterans are not being treated well. And by the way, Hillary Clinton has been doing this for 35 years. Now she says she can do it. She doesn't have a clue. Doesn't have a clue.
Amy, the observation that illegals get better treatment from this government than do our veterans, wow, that is something that just hits everybody in the heart and the gut, at least the way I perceive it. Might you agree?
I do agree, JD, and it's something I don't think a lot of people realize. I think that more people need to understand that. And look, it's the same thing, you know, with Syrian refugees coming across. I mean, it is like she cares so much more about everyone else besides the people here in this country, and I just don't understand it. But again, if Donald Trump keeps talking about the facts, he's going to educate a lot of people over the next 2 months, and they will come his way.
Brother Blakeman, again as the professor, that observation in terms of populists and everyday Americans alike, that somehow illegals could get preferential treatment over veterans, that's a winner.
It is a winner. And to even allege that somehow we have to put illegals who are in this country who broke our laws above the needs of our veterans is unconscionable. But it's true. It's happening. More attention has been given by Democrats to those people who have come here illegally than the people who fought for our sovereignty and for our liberty.
There is one other note, Brad, and I'll get your comment on it first. Donald Trump is peeling back the blacklist he had on news outlets such as the Washington Post and Politico and BuzzFeed. Is this the new presidential Trump? Is this a wise thing, Brad?
It is absolutely the wise thing. Look, we shouldn't have enemies lists. We shouldn't deny the press access. What we should do is make sure that the press are reporting accurately. When they don't, we call them out on it. But yes, we should have them cover Donald Trump every day.
15 seconds, Amy. Agree or disagree with Brad?
I completely agree with him. And who was it? HuffPo, or maybe it was BuzzFeed, was covering him, not as in politics, but as a celebrity, I guess. And now they're back to politics. So I think everybody's square, and let's move forward.
And speaking of politics, we will move forward, but we want you to stay put just where you are. We're going to take a break, and then we'll have Amy and Brad continue to offer their insights and analysis. And when we come back, another look at Hillary and the polls. She's headed downward. Is this a sign that she could be headed for real trouble? And something that Jimmy Carter did in '77 takes us on a journey into history with today's American moment.